Do you love the iPhone 17 Pro's two-tone aluminum and glass design? Don't get too used to it. GS Securities tech analyst Jeff Pu, who has a reliable track record of sleuthing through the supply chain to predict what Apple is working on, says next year's iPhone 18 Pro series will have two defining features that differentiate it from the iPhone 17 Pro/17 Pro Max that just launched in September. According to a source viewed by 9to5Mac, Apple could finally trim down the dynamic island, the pill-shaped cutout that makes up the front-facing camera and true depth sensor for Face ID. The dynamic island debuted in the iPhone 14 Pro in 2022. Unlike standard hole-punch selfie cameras on Android phones, Apple astonished everyone with its ability to show notifications and live activities such as music controls, timers, and ride-sharing arrival and food delivery schedules. The dynamic island isn't going away, it's just getting smaller, according to Pu. And thank heavens, since it's considerably more obtrusive than the notch on prior iPhones. Don't believe me? Just go view videos in full screen and a lot of apps, and note how they all optimize for the dynamic island differently. Some show the cutout as a black pill, others just shrink the movie smaller to avoid it or fit partially around it. Pu, sadly, didn't mention how much smaller the dynamic island will be on the iPhone 18 Pro series, so we'll have to wait until next fall. The other widely predicted modification for the iPhone 18 Pro is a tweak to the two-tone design. Apple is apparently intending to modify the glass cutout to make it integrate more with the aluminum frame, matching the anodized metal better. While this won't affect at all users who wear a case, the cutout, most evident on the silver iPhone 17 Pros, has felt a touch out of place. The glass pane is important for wireless charging, but it doesn't make for a seamless design. Pu is also anticipating Apple to introduce the iPhone 17e, an upgrade of the iPhone 16e, in mid-Q126, which would presumably premiere in the spring. The cheaper iPhone 17 could have an A19 chip and an 18-megapixel center stage camera, two features in the iPhone 17. Both would be remarkable because the SE and the E iPhones are normally devices with several generations old parts to keep pricing low. With Tim Cook apparently preparing to quit the CEO role, Apple's future has never been more unknown. Perhaps it's time to literally switch things up. According to the South Korean research agency The Bell, the standard iPhone 18 will come with 12 gigs of RAM, mirroring the memory capacity that has so far been limited to Apple's Pro models. This represents the first time in Apple's history that it has decreased the performance gap between its regular and Pro iPhone models, especially in terms of memory and system optimization. The enhanced RAM will be combined with next-generation LPDDR5X memory boasting a 6-channel design, delivering more bandwidth, greater power economy, and increased overall performance. Sources claim that this upgrade is necessary to support the expanding range of Apple Intelligence AI functions, which demand higher processing power and memory. These include live translation, visual intelligence, and considerable upgrades to series capabilities. For users, the change to 12 gigs of RAM across all iPhone 18 models is likely to solve a long-standing issue about Apple's base iPhones being hampered by artificial memory constraints, which sometimes forced programs to reload frequently and depleted the battery faster. Analysts believe this update will lead to a smoother and more efficient user experience. While some supply chain reports suggest Apple might reconsider this upgrade if component availability becomes an issue, most insiders expect 12 gigs of RAM to become the new standard for all iPhones starting in 2026, keeping Apple competitive in a market where higher memory capacities are becoming the norm. Apple is recognized for delivering outstanding hardware and software on its phones, but one area where it's particularly weak is AI. Compared to Google's Gemini and other AI services like ChatGPT, Apple's attempts just can't compete. Therefore, this area is in dire need of some upgrades. Of course, since AI is primarily software, any enhancements may conceivably arrive to existing iPhones anyhow, but the iPhone 18's higher specifications could allow an AI overhaul to really shine. Thankfully, it appears like we might receive some substantial upgrades before too long, but they might not be down to Apple themselves. Rather, Apple will reportedly employ a bespoke version of Google's Gemini to power Siri's long-awaited AI overhaul. This upgrade might land in March or April, according to rumors, thus before the September-bound iPhone 18 series. But again, this is expected to be faster, smoother, and generally at its best on the iPhone 18 series, and we may well see certain iPhone 18 specific AI features that require next-generation hardware to work at all. When it comes to the batteries and charging capabilities on Apple's phones, there's a lot of space for improvement. The major thing we'd like to see is greater capacity batteries, especially since Chinese phones like the 7,300 mAh OnePlus 15 are racing way ahead. Right now, the biggest iPhone battery is only slightly over 5,000 mAh, so we want to see a significant jump in capacity for the iPhone 18 series, and ideally, that would be achieved by employing silicon-carbon batteries. This technology is what OnePlus and some companies have utilized to obtain such high-capacity batteries, as it allows for a bigger capacity in the same space, so phones don't have to get thicker. We'd also like to see charging speeds increased, as while Apple is a bit vague about charging specs, it claims that the iPhone 17 Pro Max can reach up to a 50% charge in 20 minutes with a 40W adapter or higher, or that it can reach the same charge level in around 30 minutes with a 30W or higher MagSafe charger. For example, the OnePlus 15 supports 120-watt cable charging and 50W wireless charging, which in both situations is considerably greater charging power than any iPhone supports. If Apple improves the battery capacities, then greater charging power would be very handy, but either way it's something we'd want to see. Finally, we prefer for the iPhone 18 series to contain more RAM than the iPhone 17 line. With the current models, you get 8 gigs in the iPhone 17 and 12 gigs in the Pro handsets, which isn't awful, but is less than what many Android flagships offer. Now, in the past, this hasn't mattered all that much, but RAM is becoming increasingly crucial in the age of AI, and particularly if Apple is going to expand its AI features, it would be excellent if that was accompanied with an increase in RAM. Ideally, we'd like there to be at least 12 gigs in the regular iPhone 18 and 16 gigs in the iPhone 18 Pro and Pro Max, and we wouldn't say no to even more than that. The iPhone Air was released with considerable excitement earlier this fall, touting a chassis just 5.6mm thick and weighing a mere 165 grams, making it by some the lightest smartphone Apple has ever manufactured, but reports say buyers haven't been won over. Maybe Apple should take this as a message that lightweight phones are not wanted, and a new source indicates that next year's batch will include what is essentially the anti-iPhone Air, the heaviest iPhone Apple has ever manufactured. The Weibo account Instant Digital recently wrote about the iPhone 18 Pro Max, planned for introduction in September 2026, and projected that it will weigh more than 240 grams, approximately 8.5 ounces. That will put it ahead of the 240 grams iPhone 13 Pro Max and 14 Pro Max devices, which jointly hold the record. It further indicates that the device will be roughly 10 grams heavier and slightly thicker than its predecessor, the 17 Pro Max. Apple finally understands, the account adds. Don't bother with online opinions about thinner, lighter, or mini models. Those won't sell unless you cram everything in. Users won't stop buying just because it's heavy. It surely seems that people won't choose to buy merely because it's light. Customers assess on the basis of features far more than dimensions, and the 18 series iPhones coming next year should have enough to offer in that sense. With 10 months to go, details remain murky, but we're already hearing that camera enhancements and a shrunk-down dynamic island are on the cards, along with a super powerful 2nm A20 CPU and new modems. And the 18 Pro Max, of course, will have top-end battery life, much beyond that of the iPhone Air. So if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more exciting tech news and updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.